And welcome to Nancy's Neighborhood, and it's good to have you all with us today. You notice I have on a different headdress today. This is another Halloween headdress available at The Red Ribbon. It's 270 Central Avenue Northwest in downtown Cleveland. And I want to tell you about something else. Some of you know that I cross-stitch, and I cross-stitch a lot, and I cross-stitch just about everything. But I have some cross-stitch Halloween cards that are just $10 a piece, so if you've got anybody that you would like to send a really neat card to, I've got some really neat cards, and they're just $10 each, and they're 5x7, and you can go to the dollar store or Dollar Stop or anywhere and get you a little 5x7 frame and stick this in a frame, and everybody's tickled. So I just thought I'd let you know about that. There's a lot of other Halloween things I have at the Red Ribbon, so come by and see me. Now folks, I've told you this, and I'm going to tell you one more time. A lot of things happen in October, and it looks like we're getting into November too. So I'm going to take a few minutes, excuse me, to tell you about some of the things that are happening in October. And I did this at the last program, but I want to do it again because this is major. But Jacob Judd, congratulations on being a semifinalist for the National Merit Scholarship Program. That is awesome. And we are so proud of you, the only student in Cleveland-Bradley County to qualify in the semifinals. So Jacob, congratulations and good luck as you move forward through. This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is also National Arts and Humanities Month. And again, I'll remind you that local artist Jenny Kirkpatrick is the artist featured in October in the In-Town Gallery in Chattanooga. And again, I will say to you, shop local. But if you happen to be in Chattanooga, then go by the In-Town Gallery and look at some of Jenny's beautiful works, because she does some great works. Okay, today was the first day of early voting, and I voted. I'm not going to tell you how I voted. I'm just going to tell you I voted, and it was really simple. I went into the courthouse annex, what used to be the old post office, what still is part of its post office, and just walked right in, voted, came right out, and went in and opened up the shop. So early voting has started, and be sure you vote, people. It's not only a privilege, but it's an obligation for you to vote as an American citizen. So please go and do that. Now I want to remind you about some things that are coming up. We've got Wine for the Mind at the Coffee Barn on the 21st. Tickets are $40 and $70 for a couple, and it benefits the Love Nancy organization. And then the 21st and 22nd, we have Sunflower Stables Barn Sale and Fall Market, which is going to be at the Tri-State Exhibition Center. And the admission to that is $5. Excuse me while I flip through these. Got a whole folder full of things that y'all need to know about. Now, I'm going to tell you one more time, and I may tell you another time because it's not quite the end of it yet, but October 21st through November 2nd, the Nina and Pinta replicas are docked at Calhoun's on the River in Knoxville, 400 Nayland Drive. And I want to tell you something. It's worth driving up there to eat at Calhoun's, but it's also worth driving up there to see these replicas. And it's $8 for adults, $7 for seniors, and $6 for students 5 to 16, and children under 4 are free. And this would be wonderful. And any of you teachers out there that want any more information about this, give me a call at the Red Ribbon, 473-1114, and I'll be glad to tell you any more information about this, because I've told y'all this before, but if I still taught school, I'd have a busload of kids up there right now going through those ships, because I think it would be absolutely wonderful. And the First Responders Food Drive kicks off October 21st, and it will go through November 15th. They want non-perishable food, and these proceeds will be taken to the Caring Place for distribution during the winter months. And it's very, very important, folks, that our food closets, our food pantries have plenty of food in them when they're needed. So that's all of our rescue, the sheriff's office, constables, and this will kick off at the Bradley Square Mall on the 21st, and collection barrels will be set up there, but they'll also be set up at some of the fire halls and the MS station on Paul Huff. So be sure that if you have some non-perishables that you'd like to donate, that you drop them by. October 22nd is the final cruise-in for the season. That's around the Courthouse Square. And that's from 1 to 6, and some great cars and motorcycles, and they have swap shop and a lot of other things go on. I'm going to this Saturday, folks, October 22nd. It's Oak Grove Elementary School Festival from 2 to 5. I probably won't get there till 4, but I think that's when the auction begins. Before that, they're going to have a cornhole tournament roughly around 2:30. You don't have to register prior to, but you can register when you get there. It's $20 a team, two-man team, single elimination, split the pot. So if you're good at this, you could come out of there with quite a bit of money. So Oak Grove School is at 400 Durkee Road Southeast. So that is Saturday from 2 to 5, the 22nd, and be sure you go and support them. Also on the 22nd is the Centenary Avenue Flea Market. Now, those houses down Centenary will have different things out in their yard. Remember, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and the proceeds from this go to the Museum Center at 5 Points, and we always know we need to support the museum. So go visit there, and then when you leave there, you can drive out to Oak Grove and enjoy that. Now also on the 22nd, deer hunting classes start. It is deer bow season. So, and it's amazing to me because I live out in the country and there's a herd of deer that are in my field all the time, except when it's deer season. Somehow or another, they know when it's deer season and they know to get into the woods and hide. So, but this is bow season, and if you're interested, call 476-8923. And then we had the North Cleveland Church of God gal on here to talk to us about the Fair for Missions, and that'll be Saturday the 22nd from 1 to 8 and Sunday the 23rd from 7 in the evening till 8:30. And the monies go to their African mission work that they're doing. And Cleveland High School has done an aquaponic set up for them, and actually they have been over there with this group. So there's a lot of good things going on that Cleveland is participating in Africa. So you may want to go by and support them by purchasing something there at the fair. And also on October 23rd, which is a Sunday, Johnston Woods, and I had Adam Roos on here to tell you about this, Johnston Woods Auction and Barbecue. Now, Johnston Woods is an outreach of the Broad Street United Methodist Church, and it's out on South Lee Highway. Beautiful acreage. The Hurt Lodge is out there. There's cabins. It's a resort type thing for meetings, and it's a lot of people use it. The barbecue will be from Shane's Barbecue, $10 for adults and $5 for children. And the tickets are available at Broad Street United Methodist Church or right across the street from the church at the Red Ribbon. And it starts at noon and goes till about 3. And so everybody come on out. You don't have to be a member of Broad Street. It's a wonderful drive out there. It's a wonderful location. In fact, you might want to come out there and see, because it'd be a great place for you to hold a retreat or any kind of event that you need to have. We do weddings out there a lot. We're booking up pretty fast for Christmas, so for luncheons. So you might want to come out there and just check us out. Now, after you leave Johnston Woods, you need to go to Cleveland State Community College in the George R. Johnson Cultural Center, because the Greater Cleveland Community Band will be presenting Celebrating America, and that starts at 3 o'clock. And it's the Valley View Elementary School Choir will be singing. And you know, I think I told you wrong. That's going to be at Pangle Hall. I am so sorry. Pangle Hall, and the Valley View Elementary School Choir will be there. Admission is free, but usually they take a little love offering. And then on the 27th, and I'm going to this, folks, so I'll be there to see if you come. Spirits, Legends, and Lore, and that will be at the Communication Building on the Lee University campus. It's the new pretty building there on the corner of Central and Broad and Ocoee. Actually, it's right there. It's a beautiful new building. There's 7 storytellers that are going to tell, it's not really ghost stories, it's stories about Cleveland and some of our Cleveland ghosts. Now, it is an adult venue, folks. It's not a haunted house, but they ask that you don't bring small children, because if they get frightened or if they start crying or fussing or everything, it may break the mood for everybody else that's there. So there's 2 tellings, and one telling is at 6 and one telling is at 8. And tickets are available at the Bank of Cleveland or at the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce. Now, the same evening, Songs That Touch the Heart, which is the Redback Hymnal, Jack Clark and Danny Murray will be there doing that. It's a free event, but you still need to call and reserve a seat, because the chapel does not hold thousands of people, folks. So that's 614-8320 to reserve your seat. What I'm hoping I can do is go to the 6 o'clock telling and the 7 o'clock singing. So I may be a little bit late getting to the singing. And I'm going to have Christine Williams on next week, I hope. She's with the theater department at Lee University, and they're going to do 6 performances of Dracula. And that's the 28th and 29th, and then November 3 and 5, and a matinee on October the 30th, and I've left out one of those dates because there's 6 performances. But anyway, $10 for adults and $7 for student. And the show is for 12 and up. Here again, folks, it's not that it's that scary, although if you're familiar with Dracula, it's a little bit scary, but again, it's not what you would want to take a younger child to, because they may not enjoy it and they may disturb everyone else while they're trying to enjoy it. So just remember that. October 29th, Garden Plaza will have their annual antique appraisal show from 1 to 9. And I have already asked, if you have jewelry, you can get it appraised. But if you have antiques, they will do that. It's up to you to get them there, but they will do an appraisal for you. And then October 31st is the deadline for the holiday recipe at the Cleveland Banner. And I've told y'all this, and those that watch this show regularly saw the madeleines that Sheena Myers brought in here that Jay and I got to eat that day, because Bryce was in Disney World and Josh was not here. So Jay and I ate the madeleines, as did my guest, and they were really, really good. And Sheena says they're going to be in the recipe section that the Banner publishes, and that'll be published on November the 6th. But your recipes need to be in by October 31st, which is Halloween, which is a good day to remember. Halloween, you're going to go to the block party. But before you go to the block party, you can get your recipes into the Banner. And if you can do it with a picture, that's even better. They would be thrilled to death if they had a picture of what this is supposed to look like when you get through fixing it. But you can either mail them in to Holiday Recipes, Cleveland Daily Banner, P.O. Box 3600, and that zip is 37320, or you can email them in to news@clevelandbanner.com, or you can actually drop them off at the office there on Keith Street. 25th Street, 1505 25th Street. Volley for the Cure, I've got somebody coming on the next show to tell us about that, and some other things that are happening. I'll have other people come on. Now I'm going to look through my little folder here and see if there's anything else that I needed to tell you. And let me go back. The Cleveland Community Choir, Band concert is at the George R. Johnson facility at Cleveland State. So I told you wrong. So it is at the George R. Johnson on the campus of Cleveland State. And that is the 23rd at 3 o'clock, and it should be really, really good. And then there's a Survivors Luncheon that goes along with Volley for the Cure. That'll be November 3rd. And here again, I'll have someone on to tell us all about what's happening with Volley for the Cure and all the other breast cancer things that are going on. October's Breast Cancer Month, but sometimes October gets so crammed full of fall bazaars and all that kind of stuff that we have to move the breast cancer into early November, which is what they've done with the Volley for the Cure and some other events. So just be aware that there are things coming up, and we will have on at the next show, we'll have somebody talking to us about that. So I think that that's about all I have to tell you about today that's happening. I'm quite sure I've forgotten something because there is so much going on, and I'm looking through my little file right now to be sure that I didn't forget anything, because lots and lots of things go on and in downtown Cleveland and in Bradley County. So hopefully I hit on most of them that you need to know between now and Halloween. Don't forget the block party. Starts at 5 o'clock on Halloween night, 31st, downtown Cleveland, right around the square. Sharon Marr was on here the last show with me and told you all about that. Music, food vendors, Treat Street. Mars Chocolate did 11,000 bags for Treat Street with 50 pieces of candy in each bag. So there's plenty of candy for everyone, and it moves pretty fast. So if you get there and you look kind of discouraged about how long the line is, don't worry about it. It'll go pretty fast. So now that I think I've done all of that, folks, I'm going to take a little break and catch my breath and bring on my first guest. But right now we're going to a commercial break, and I want you to watch our commercials, and I want you to support our sponsors because they're what keep this show going. So don't go away, folks. I'll be right back with my first guest.